Bert.
Oh, that itself is just so entertaining.
It is. Okay, my turn, I guess. Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our. Hey, again. We're live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday night offering of astronomy outreach for April the 23rd, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
Hey.
Okay.
We've all had too much candy, I think.
Oh, evening from Southwest Germany. Hey, how you doing, Billy? Little kid.
From where?
Billy, Southwest Germany, he says.
Wow.
Yeah. Dankeschön. Yeah.
It's a long ways away.
Good to hear. Okay. My name is Chris Kerwin. I'm your host this evening, one of your hosts and creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay, who just hit 15,000 tonight. Yay!
Hey.
Oh, you got one.
I've been watching. I think I got one more. So I think we're at 15,000 on Facebook. Anyway, I'm an amateur astronomer, member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. First of all, I'd like to introduce our two regular co-hosts of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moon Shadow Observatory in beautiful Hampton, NB. Paul.
Hello.
I'm gonna say, what's that symbol?
It's a Hampton.
Hampton.
It's a bird.
Okay. Oh, it's a bird.
Yeah, it's a blue heron flying over a lagoon.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, and our other regular co-host here on the program, Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in beautiful St. John. Welcome, Mike.
Hey.
Okay, on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, getting started in this hobby of astronomy can be very daunting. Perhaps you've purchased some equipment and you're not sure how to use it. Perhaps you need some help navigating the night sky. Or perhaps you're just looking for someone with the same passion to share the night sky with you. Well, joining a local astronomy club can be very helpful. Tonight, we're going to take a look at some of the benefits of meeting up with others that have the same interest. Also on tonight's show, Mike will be offering another Bino Bud treasure to enjoy. Paul will be providing us with another interesting Rosanna's fun fact this evening. I'm going to have a quick look at what to watch for in this week's sky, including tonight's sky, because tonight's sky may be pretty cool. Clouds hold off for a little bit longer. Anyway, and then we'll have all of your wonderful photo submissions to share as well. So this is a family-friendly interactive live broadcast. So for those of you joining us from my YouTube channel or Facebook page, we're happy to try and answer all of your astronomy questions here in real time as well. And of course, we'd like to welcome back all of those who have been joining us through the local Rogers TV network. Thank you for your support. And my brother Danny, who watches every week. Danny, hi. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
So let's get started then with tonight's program, guys, and a little bit of talk about astronomy clubs.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was funny because we'll just say a few years back, I was, I had my own telescope and stuff, and I'm doing my thing. And I was going through Brunswick Square one time, and I come down the escalators, and I look over it, and here's this sign, St. John Astronomy Club, and it's like, there's a club. I thought I was the only person that did this. And so, of course, I scooted over, and I'm first person I actually bumped into was Kurt, and he says, "Do you have a telescope?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, bring it to the beach tonight, because after we're done here, we're going to the beach." I said, "What beach is that?" He said, "St. Tris." I said, "All right." And man, I'll tell you, from that point onwards, I've been hooked. Just simple as that. Meeting that bunch, just doing the same thing that I was doing, and I had no idea that St. John even had a club at the time. And wow, what a difference it's made in my life! I'll tell you that. It's incredible. In fact, two of the best friends I have right here, I met through the club, of all places.
Yeah. I think my first opportunity was when Kurt was teaching the course out at the technical school, at the community college. And I saw it, I think it was in the paper, they were offering the course. And I went out, and I don't know, it was maybe 10 or so people in the class, but he was really good at what he's really good at teaching. He really is.
Oh, yeah.
He made you feel very comfortable in the class, like knowing that you were very much a beginner, but he didn't let that you weren't bothered by that simple fact. And then he had telescopes outside afterwards that we go out and take a look at the moon or Saturn or whatever. And I was hooked right from that moment on. I mean, I'd always wanted to do it since I was a kid, but to find people around that were, that had the same interest is really hard, because the thing about this hobby too is that you can be all by yourself and enjoy the evening, but you can have a lot more fun with friends out doing the same thing as you. So I think it was hooked right then, and then I started to find out about the local club, and then joined on. Like Mike said there, and then these two guys, my good friends on the show here. I mean, you guys have taught me so much in this hobby that you brought me right along with you, kind of thing. So that's the interesting part, is that everybody that takes on this hobby has a different level of expertise. And Paul's astrophotography, Mike, it's just fix anything possible that you can fix. And I'm kind of the observing kind of a guy, or look at the night sky. So the three of us kind of fit together even here, but that relationship really developed from the local clubs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that just from the local club. Like, we met there, and here we are today doing what, 160 shows.
Almost 200, yeah, getting there.
Wow.
I've got some, as we talk about this, I've got some photos we'll just kind of go through. I don't have a gazillion of them, but just some photos that I found from stuff over the years. My introductory to astronomy was kind of like Chris's. I never had a telescope or anything, and I didn't know the difference between a refractor and a reflector. I had no idea what to get for optics or anything. So I went to Kurt's course at community college, and anyway, I went through that and learned a little bit, enough to know what I thought that I wanted to do. And then I joined the St. John Club, and that was back in 2011 or 2012. And that's when I've always kind of, like most people, had an idea what I wanted to see. And if you saw a picture from space, you kind of, oh man, that is so cool. And then you start looking at gear, then you start to realize that, I'm not going to see that in my telescope. But if I take a picture of it, I'm there's a better chance of seeing it. So that's where my sort of journey began, was back and with cameras and stuff. So to learn about observing now, I can appreciate it more, because first of all, it's a hell of a lot easier to plunk a telescope on the ground and look for something in the sky. But I remember the first time I found something, I bought a telescope from Mike. Actually, the first real telescope I had, and that was that 5-inch Skywatcher reflector on that Orion mount that I still have here. And the first thing I found on my own in the sky, because I didn't have tracking or anything, was Andromeda. And I come running back in the house, just freaking out, just screaming my head off like a little, kid that won, some kind of toy. And Mrs. was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The show is over in 5 more minutes. Just So I said, "I don't care." Oh, they went again. But anyway, so that's where I started. But as far as clubs are concerned, I guess we'll talk about the benefits of joining the club. Not only the friendships that you build along the way, but if you're really looking to learn something before you even buy anything, it's probably the best place to go to, because you're going to get people who have probably, if they don't own something, have owned it, or somebody in there will have. So if you're just a beginner and you're trying to figure out, because that the age-old question, what's the best telescope to get? You need to ask a lot more questions than that. And by going to a club, you start to realize, after listening to people talk about their experiences, what it is that you really need. Because then you start to say, okay, well, there's different types of astronomy.
Yeah.
You know, do I want a telescope to take pictures? Do I want a telescope just to have views? What are my skies like? It's a lot more than just a dollars for a product kind of a situation. So anyway, so clubs are definitely the place to find that information out.
Yeah.
So you guys can talk amongst, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'll show a picture, and we'll get some juices flowing with that maybe.
Okay.
Let me just get that one shared. This is not the. You're just seeing a barrel. This is a barrel of fun, right? Astronomy is a barrel of fun.
Barrel of monkeys.
I want to show you.
The barrel of monkeys.
And I think, Mike, as soon as you see this image, you'll know, Mike and Chris, you'll both know exactly what it is. Just let me get it over to there.
Must be in Cygnus. Yes, sir.
So when you join a club, because most of the people in here are, at the time, were club members, and this was actually in a workshop that we put on at the St. John Astronomy Club. And this facility that you're looking at is the interpretive center at the over in Rockwood Park. And we had to get to the point where we were thinking about, we don't have a big enough space anymore.
Exactly.
Before the pandemic, of course. And but some of those people that were there that night were there for the workshop, but the majority of them decided to join the club simply because, it's not for these static old guys that have a binocular and and all this stuff. Look at the group of people that are here, right?
Present company excluded, of course, when you say old guys.
But look at the age group that's in that group of people. There's certainly
kids
some
right
older
on
people. Up. There's some young people. There's some kids in there. And typically in an astronomy club, it's not a certain type. And you look at all the male and female. So it's not a thing where you have to sort of be anything other than just a person, because there's people like you in the clubs, and where a lot of people have the misconception that you have to be a certain type to belong to a kind of a club, and astronomy clubs aren't like that. Certainly not today. Maybe years ago they might have been, but today it's a very youthful, exciting world, especially now with us getting back into space as much as we are. So there's all kinds of stuff going on in the astronomy world. So that's one picture. Mike, that's your telescope.
I believe that night we were talking about different types of telescopes, and that's how you can see them spread out across the table there.
Yep. And what's that big orange thing on the table, Mike?
Oh yeah, I gotta have my coffee.
So that was where we have our club meetings, and that's this place, and that's basically the amount of people that we were getting before the pandemic. It was like that. It was pretty much like wall to wall.
Yes.
And, so there's a lot of different types of folks that are involved in there. Here's another one of Mike talking about that particular scope. Chris on the background there, and he's just having a ball listening to Mike. Mike's pointing at me, by the way. And all these, I'm not in any of them because I'm the guy taking the picture.
Take pictures, yeah.
But that's Chris and Mike right there. And you can see behind Mike on the screen, he was talking about actually all kinds of things there.
Yeah, just different equipment and different accessories and so on that you can add to your scopes and whatnot.
Yeah. And that telescope there, that's an old Celestron.
Yeah, I vinyl wrapped that and put my Death Star sticker on it. I tell you, it attracts people when you go to do public outreach. It's like, wow, is that ever cool?
Exactly. So speaking of public outreach, so here's another image of what the club does. And Chris, you know more about this than us. You can talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, outreach is what I do the most of, I guess, really. Sorry, just watching our YouTube feed there, it was looked like it was having some issues broadcast, but I see that we're up live on the channel. Okay. All right. No, I mean, outreach is what I do the most of, and I enjoy the most of. And the thing about outreach with astronomy clubs is that you can get those people who are a little bit timid of setting up their equipment in front of others. And there's nothing like it, like really to share the views that you have. There's nothing like it to instill some confidence in you to what you can share. So there's Mike. we can set up just offering the moon, and we've done that with a number of people. People have joined us and just they brought up equipment like Alex here, and weren't sure what to do at the time. And we always try to set up an evening of outreach like this, the bigger outreaches events around the first quarter moon or around some part of the cycle of the moon. And part of the reason I think that we're doing that is to be able to share that view with others. So when you have an inexperienced astronomer or a beginner and they're not sure what to say to people and what to talk about, well, the easiest thing is just to offer a view of the moon. And well, I don't know anything about the moon. Well, sure you do. There it is, right straight up there. You can point to it. It's a round ball. It has craters. It's at a first quarter phase. And once you start talking to people, and all they want to do anyway is just look at the view and enjoy it, and it starts to instill a little bit of confidence in yourself. And then eventually, more so, you'll get more comfortable sharing your views with others. So to me, that's what the Astronomy Club has done for me. It taught me that I didn't need to know a lot to just get started to share the views with others. So that's what I find. And I find with outreach, any type of like these star party events and stuff, they're a great way to be able to share views with others in your own group too. We've set up before at private functions where we've had like a workshop just for ourselves with no public. And that was a great experience. We get an opportunity to there. That guy.
Howdy doody.
Redneck astronomer.
Oh God.
But you have to admit,
I do get in my element when I'm into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you have to admit now, this like the people, some of these images I'm showing are friends that we've developed along the way, joining clubs, and these pictures that you're seeing are from various places where we go out and do outreach and or just get together as astronomers. That particular one here, that's what that was, and it's just the friendships that you make are in most cases are lifelong, and the things that you learn from the people that that are there. Here, I'm going to show you this one. Mike, you can kind of talk me through this one.
Yeah, that was one night we went down to St. Therese Beach and just set up for general public viewing. But we decided that we've seen this kind of thing before where people have brought down props and or somebody makes a circle around the moon with their hands or something like that, and they get a shot of it. So we just decided we'd try some different stuff. So I mean, I had an old picture frame there, nothing in it, just a picture frame, and then of course Chris had a paint roller. And then look at that, we're painting the sky, and Paul was photographing. So we're just having a bunch of fun, trying something completely different other than just being their natural selves, I guess.
we were painting pictures.
Painting pictures, yes.
Here's Chris.
I'll let her with a paint bucket.
He didn't like the color of the moon that night, so he was going to color it up.
Change her, yeah. Give that blood red look when it's eclipsed, yeah.
He's got a vase on his head.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that joining a club leads to when you start getting into trouble like this, right?
Oh, you get a full moon night, so you don't want to do anything else, really. So.
Yeah, these are the fun things you get to do when you're outside. But really, this is what it's all about: is getting out there with people and friends, and learning about the night sky, and anticipating as the sky just starts to get dark. Telescopes get turned on, and everybody's starting to get ready. And the first thing they see is in the sky, they go, "Look, there it
is."
It was probably a planet, I'm assuming, Mike. I can't remember on that one.
That was probably the full moon, for all I know. Look, there it is.
For the photo.
Oh, what else? There's one other one here that was something similar to that. I don't know if I still have it or not. Maybe I don't. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but that's kind of what it's all here. Here's the one I want to show. And
There we go. Yeah.
this was on a night that we had somebody coming down from Rask, Canada, and they wanted, I can't remember, you know the story better than me, Chris.
That was Jenna Hines was coming down. I had it was the year that I won the QLEC award for outreach for across Canada, and she was coming down to talk to me about it and to talk to us locally about it. So I put out a call. This is kind of the sample of what it's about. I knew she was coming, and I knew, you know, something, I really want to show off our club, our local club, and what we do down here, because we do, you know, I submitted a lot of outreach reports to national, and I knew of all the activities that we were doing down here, and I thought that they should know about it as well. So I put out a call saying, you know, is anybody interested in maybe joining me at Saints Rest Beach? I don't know if I got that other picture or not. Somebody else might have it here. There's a bigger picture with everybody on it, but I did put out the call just asking if people would be interested in joining me at the beach to show off our club to somebody from out of town. And I thought, okay, I'll get a couple of people drop by. All of a sudden, vehicles started showing up, and everybody started unloading their scopes. I get choked up actually, because I was just like, I couldn't believe that so many people had dropped. There was over 20 people had shown up with telescopes lined up on the beach, and you know, they were thrilled. I was thrilled to be able to offer that to them, and they were thrilled. We had a great evening that night.
Oh yeah,
we had a lot of public come by too to look at the views with us. But it was that type of camaraderie that all I had to do was just ask, and everybody showed up automatically. So it was that good. And that's how good our local club is. It's a really bunch of troopers that will do all that. There's one of our star party events. That's another good thing about clubs locally and provincially, is that we have star parties, which are not Hollywood stars. They're local stars. But we're
this particular one was last year up in Mount Carleton, and you'll always hear Chris talking about Trudy, and Trudy's one of our biggest supporters for sharing stuff. She's also a great amateur astronomer in her own right. That's Trudy right there. And so she likes to go to Mount Carleton, her and her daughter Amelia. They've been going, I think, for the last 3 years, if memory's any good. And we've got Yvonne Hashi, who's now looking after the star parties in New Brunswick. I'm just doing the Fundy one now. And so him and Sophie, that's his wife, they're going to be taking care of the star parties and whatnot. Richard Hashi, a great astronomer, has been around forever, loves the astro imaging, but it just loves talking to the public. And my mind is evading me here.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And this something. It's been one of those days. Anyway, everybody that's in that picture are people that I met in the club. I think, yeah, every one of them that I met in the club, and you get to know them, and it's just sort of like wherever you go and you run into them, or you're planning star parties and stuff. It's pretty amazing, really.
Mary King.
Mary King, thank you. Mary's gonna kick my butt when she sees me. I couldn't remember her name, and she knows that I know her. I just had one of those mental blocks you get, but in any event, yeah. So Mary, she's awesome. I've got some pictures of her. This is her working the tent up at the Mount Carleton Star Party, and there's just all kinds of people coming through. So we had them go through the tent first, and then on to the telescopes. And I just want to kind of just float through these images. And because whether it's at Mount Carleton or whether it's your local astronomy club, these are the activities that you get involved with. And it's just so much fun, especially when you get people looking through a telescope for the very first time. And Saturn's always the one, I think, that gets the biggest wow, I think.
When we do that, we have we invite the public in to come have a look. And there's a lot of times we have one of these telescope, workshops, where we invite people to bring their gear. And you have all sorts of people will show up, even with a department store scope. And what the best part is it doesn't matter what type of telescope you have. If you have that department store scope, or if you have, a plane wave telescope, if you want to know how to use it, there are people there that are going to come over and gladly show you and help you get your telescope up and running and how to use it and how it works and the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is Mount Carleton. If you've never been there in New Brunswick, you got to go. This is a lake. This is the new center they just opened down there. And however, this is absolutely amazing. You can actually see the color of the stars in the lake when you're looking up. This is a reflection down there. But these things that you eventually will end up doing are all part and parcel of belonging to a club, because these, you get to know the people, you get to know where everybody's going to be gathering, and it's not all about telescopes. Here we have a good old time just having a meal together. Some brotherhood going on there with all the the treats and stuff throughout the day, and you get to have a chance to sit and actually talk and get to know people and see them, because it's not at nighttime, is in the dark. So the daytime you get to actually see them. And then we do things like this, we get our laser pointers going. It looks like you're up at Star Wars or something. I don't know. But it's just a ball. And there's Trudy. She's doing something inconspicuously that Trudy always does right there when she's chatting away. And she's got her hands behind her back. What's she doing, Mike?
She doesn't have her clicker.
That's exactly what she's doing. Everybody's coming through.
Gotta count buddies.
So I think that's why her and Chris get along so well. They like the numbers.
All about the numbers, yeah.
So this is the kind of the feel. This is as it's just getting dark and at one of the star parties. But anyway, these are just some of the images I wanted to share, just simply because it's just so much fun. And here's one. I got to show this one. Trudy will probably get mad at me, but that's okay.
Taking a picture of somebody taking a picture.
I was taking a picture of Trudy taking a picture of me.
How many times have we done that before?
Anyway, so it's just a whole lot of fun. Those are just some of the images I wanted to share for tonight. But this is all stemmed from joining an astronomy club, not really knowing what you're getting into, and then once you're into it, it's I don't know, I can't put into words how many people that you'll actually become friends with, and because it's people that you can be with for 2 or 3 years, and because you don't talk about what it is they do, it's just all about astronomy. You could be beside a doctor and not even know that you are.
Yeah.
Because they have the same likes that you, and everybody's on the same playing field when it comes to that kind of a club, which I really like. So there's no hierarchy with astronomy clubs. It's just everybody with a like-minded kind of a vision, right?
Another thing that I find is really, really neat is you get new people join the club, and I myself included, and you're kind of shy and you don't say anything, and you go to a few meetings and you start feeling comfortable, and you feel comfortable around the people. Next thing you know, you're up doing a presentation in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going, holy crap, I'm actually up here giving presentations to people now, which I've never done in my life, right?
I bet you more people learn PowerPoint in astronomy clubs than
Yeah. But it's so cool how that evolution happens because I joined the club, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
I was going to share something here. So we've got, we're members of the St. John Astronomy Club, and there is also the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada, the New Brunswick chapter as well, which is a large group. There's roughly 100, I guess, members around the province, and then if you take it nationally, there's about 5,000 members across Canada that belong to the RASC. In here, though, on our particular website, you can go there, rasknv.ca. There's lots of information. There's this weekly sky at a glance view. There's star party events, solar eclipses. So there's lots of information here on that one page. We do get into the star parties, list the star parties events, when they are, when they're going to happen, that kind of thing. So there's lots of information out there, including on the SJ Astronomy page, right, Mike?
yeah. Well, we gotta get rolling here soon because it's gonna get dark soon.
It is. That's right.
We're heading out after the show, ladies and gentlemen. If you wonder why I said that, we're gonna try to catch some aurora tonight.
Yeah. Sorry.
After the show goes. So
okay. Let's go from there then to a vinyl bud. I got a bit of an issue with my computer, so
I know, but
I think we're okay. All right.
See if I can get the right screens here. Share.
Anyway, lots of fellowship, yeah, for sure, with the clubs.
Indeed.
Am I up and running? I think it is. Binocular Attack of the Week this week by Bino Bud and me is the broken engagement ring. Uh-oh, that time of year, the birds are in the air, chirping, everybody's happy, but guess what? There's a broken engagement ring in the sky, and you can see it with a pair of binoculars. The broken engagement ring is located near the bowl of the Big Dipper, and it's made up of a semicircle of stars about 15 minutes in size. The bright star in the upper left, when you see it, at 7.4 magnitude, could be considered the diamond of the ring, and the lower right section of the ring is actually missing, which makes it the broken ring. Using your imagination, the three bright stars to the right side can be considered the missing side of the ring or the broken engagement ring. Now, how do I find it in the sky? If you went outside tonight at 11 o'clock when it's nice and dark, and you oriented yourself to 330 degrees north-northwest and look up, you will see the Big Dipper. And this bottom star, the Big Dipper, what's it called? Mirac? I'm not good at this. Mirac, I guess. You find it anyway, you follow the handle down and just go straight diagonal down, and you'll find that star come down just a little bit, and the broken engagement ring is right in here. A little closer look. There's that star come down,
yeah.
and guess what? There's the broken engagement ring right there. So it's easy to find. Once you find that star in the Big Dipper and just down a little bit, you'll see it. What does it look like? Well, there's that bright star, 7 magnitude, and look at this. The ring goes around and the pieces are missing. This could be the 3 stars, the piece that fell off from the broken engagement ring, if you want to use your imagination. So there's the diamond, the ring, and the pieces that are falling off from the side, thus the broken engagement ring. 10 by 50 binoculars. It's right here. There's that bright star Mirac, I think it's Mirac, is how you pronounce it. Just come down and there's the engagement ring. Now, it is kind of difficult because it's a smaller target. When you compare it to the full moon, oh, it might be the size of the Sea of Tranquility on the moon. So it is kind of tiny, but once you get on it, you'll see it. You'll know it. It's got the diamond and the half broken ring. And then if you're into astrophotography and you just get that long exposure shot, and that season is coming. That's Binocular Target of the Week by Bino Bud.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good. Thanks, Mike. All right. Thanks, buddy. Let's move on then with the What's Up talk. We're going to get through the stuff, like you said, pretty quick if you can, because we got maybe some Aurora. Maybe. All right. Let me move ahead to beginning.
Don't forget Rosanna either. Huh?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. Screen's right way. Wait.
Ding,
Ding, ding, ding.
ding, 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 ding,
Next slide.
Hang on. Mm-hmm.
We could do this. Hello. How are you?
I just got it. It's popping up on my wrong screen for me. So yeah, anyway, whatever. You guys, play amongst yourselves there, guys. I know you did.
We have no trouble doing that.
No trouble doing that.
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to do this after. And I'm going to share screen. So where talk at? Where we at?
Clouds in Moncton. Oh, Emma was saying.
Let's see if you get it now. Hang on.
Yeah, there's a picture.
There we are.
Yeah, I got us up in the corner though. Anyway, it is what it is.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? Let me get my other screen open here. Wow. Okay. What's up this week? Let's have a look quick. Tonight, Moon, Venus, and the Pleiades. Actually, if you go to look to the west after the show tonight, of course, not during the show, but after the show, you may still be able to catch the waxing crescent moon with some earth shine as it rests just above brilliant Venus. the second and third brightest objects in our sky. Below Venus, you should find the beautiful Pleiades star cluster as well. Kind of a repeat tomorrow night when the moon is going to be above Venus, though. So we still have the moon, Venus, and Pleiades all lined up really nicely there. The view is also joined, of course, by Orion, and along with the High D star cluster and the Pleiades and Taurus as well. Tuesday night, Mars and the moon are joined up. Watch for our moon as it greets Mars. The two objects will be less than 4 degrees apart. They will easily fit together in the field of view of 10 by 50 binoculars. We head to Thursday with the first quarter moon. Thursday evening presents us with the first quarter moon. The first quarter moon is a wonderful time to join the cycle, to enjoy, should be in the cycle. Check out many of its features, including mountain ranges, large maria, and many interesting craters as well. And we have the straight wall coming up on Friday evening. An opportunity to view the moon's unique features, the lunar straight wall, Rufus Recta, that's down by the beach, of course. One day after the first quarter moon, the rising sun makes it cast a dark shadow to the west, giving the impression it must be a high cliff. Through again. As the moon reaches its last quarter, the sun illuminates the straight wall from the other side, causing it to appear bright. Now, the straight wall is actually just a slope about 110 kilometers long, 2 to 3 kilometers wide. But this feature provides us with an excellent view of, or an example of how light and shadows work on the moon. Let's move ahead to Saturday night with International Astronomy Day. International astronomy is celebrated twice a year, close to the first quarter moon of spring and fall. It's impossible to look up at the sky on a clear night and not be in awe from the sense of wonder and amazement at how big the universe is. Now, keep an eye out, though, for posts from astronomy clubs in your area about special events taking place next weekend, and that includes us. We'll be at the Rockwood Park, Bark Park, April the 28th, beginning at 8:30, I believe it is. If you want to know where that is, it's at the first arch in Rockwood Park. You can find it by typing in Rockwood Park, Bark Park on Google Maps. If the sky is cloudy at all, we'll be there on the Saturday night instead. So watch for us for International Astronomy Day.
For those who don't know where Rockwood Park is, they're not from the area. It's in St. John in New Brunswick.
St. John there. Thank you. Yes. Okay, from there, we're going to look at Lisa's lookup, her chart for the month of April. It's here, so you can always find Lisa's chart at her Lisa's Lookup, Astronomy and More at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, Twitter, Mastodon, and Facebook. She lists the event itself, then the date of the event, the peak times when it's best to view it, and then your seeing tools that you require, naked eye, binoculars, or a telescope. So again, find her at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, Twitter, and Mastodon, and Facebook. And our SJ Astronomy chart as well. This is our April-May edition. Right up to the 13th of May, put out by Kurt Nason, our local Raskin B and SK Astronomy Club veteran member. He lists all of the events that are happening throughout the week, the major events anyway, so you can go to this chart, download it at sjastronomy.ca. Quick look at space news. Of course, we had the Starship launch this week. Let's take the sound down. We don't need the sound on. We can listen to that anyway. Gallery. Is it not going to take it off, or is it? Oh, there we go. There we go. Try again.
Oh, do you know what they call what they call this rocket launch when it blew up?
What?
They called it an unplanned
rapid unscheduled
disassembly.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly. A RUD. So on Thursday, SpaceX did conduct the inaugural flight of its fully assembled Starship at 120 meters in height with a liftoff mass of 5,000 metric tons, 11 million pounds. Starship is the largest and most powerful launch vehicle ever flown, and the first intended to be fully reusable. The sound quieted right down altogether. I think you can. Oh. Anyway, to say that the flight was a failure may not be completely accurate, although the rocket was sent a command to destruct shortly after takeoff. Many lessons were learned in the short time in flight. And it's expected that another attempt will take place within a few months after repairs are conducted to the launch pad.
Repairs to the launch pad, yeah. It blew cameras over 4 kilometers away.
Yeah, you can see the base of that where all the engines didn't light, eh?
Isn't that crazy?
There it is. So a few of them are out. but.
Just made a happy face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so happy face.
Not so happy face.
Anyway, that's that mission. There's another one out here. I had this one sent to me by Kevin Clover. He said this might want to take a look at this. The Super Balloon Imaging Telescope, called Super Bit. NASA has released this image of the Tarantula Nebula, captured by a telescope that was launched on a scientific super balloon last Sunday. The balloon was floating at 108,000 feet above Earth's surface, allowing scientists to view these scientific targets from a balloon platform in a near space environment. The advantage of a balloon-based versus space telescope is reduced cost of not having to launch a large telescope on a rocket. A super pressure balloon can circumnavigate the globe for up to 100 days to gather scientific data. The balloon also floats at an altitude above most of Earth's atmosphere, making it suitable for many astronomical observations. A cool idea, I think.
Yeah, the Chinese thought of that, and guess what happened?
But they were observing the wrong way.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking up, they were looking down. And finally, Perseverance snaps a great image of Ingenuity, this little helicopter that could. NASA's Perseverance rover just snapped an up-close view of its Mars companion, Ingenuity, revealing the robotic helicopter's dusty blades. On April the 13th, the 1.8 kilogram helicopter completed its 50th flight on Mars, during which it traveled 322 meters in 146 seconds and achieved a new altitude record of 18 meters above the red planet's surface. Now, the helicopter has far exceeded its originally planned technology demonstration mission of just up to 5 flights. That's how good they're getting with this stuff, right? They always exceed their expectations lately with a lot of the stuff. So pretty cool to have a little helicopter on Mars.
Indeed.
In that really thin atmosphere. Anyway, that's it for what's up this week. Anyway.
Oh my.
Okay. Let's get out of that. We're going to go to stop share. There we go. Here, we're back.
Well, that's interesting stuff. We'll see where Elon takes it from here.
Yeah, should be interesting. That's right. Well, he did say in another couple of months he's going to be launching. He's got other ones all built. His idea is actually to build. He's building now one of the rockets, one of the engines every single day. One of those what are they called? Raptor engines, Raptor 2 engines.
Yeah.
And his goal is to launch one of these starships every day. There'll be 100 people on each one of them.
Wow. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yep. I don't think I want to get on that one or the one.
100 people with rapid disassembly.
I wonder what they're saying on Twitter. Oh my.
Okay, Polly, you're up.
Okay, let me just share my screen. And this is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Well, hello, Rosanna. We missed you last week, and we are so glad to have you back this week. So this week, Rosanna, actually, she, I'll read what she wrote to me, and I hope it's okay for me to read this. I'm assuming it is. So she says, hi, Paul. A couple of Sundays ago, you mentioned that I had a professional family member in regards to astronomy. Well, I do. My younger brother's partner is an astrophysicist. I never send Isabel the fun facts, but I do get my brothers to proofread them first. In the last fun fact, Rupert's correction of mechanique didn't make it in time for showtime, but you read it correctly, even though I spelled it wrong. Oh, yay to that, because that's usually not the case. I love connecting dots that seem unrelated. I am that girl that has 74 tabs open on her laptop. I also love finding out how astronomy influences a person's daily life. So thinking about Isabel, whose second degree is in astrophysics, did get me wondering about how astronomy has influenced her career path. So I asked her, and this, by the way, this is Isabel. We met her actually in Hampton. We had an outreach at Dutch Point, And she happened to be there one night. Her and her partner came up to my telescope, and I started going on like I was a fool about Jupiter, not knowing who she was talking about. Anyway, after Rosanna pulled me aside, she said, "Did you know that?" And I said, "Oh, gee, really? Well, I hope I didn't give her any wrong information." Anyway, she's great. She was a really, really, really nice gal. So basically, here's what Rosanna got into. She says basically the link. Oh, and this is actually from Isabel. So she says basically the link between my master's degree in astronomy, my PhD, and my current job is all about image processing. When you read data directly from a sensor, whether it's on a telescope or whether it's in the camera on your phone, that data is raw, meaning it's unprocessed. To turn that into something useful, data in a form you can analyze, or just a good-looking picture, or an image used in robotic systems, there's a lot of processing you need to do. So since I did so much of it during my master's, I naturally thought about something involving image processing for my PhD. And that's how I found the computer vision group at McGill in the electrical engineering department. Often computer vision applications use images that are already processed by a camera manufacturer, but we generally need to do additional processing to extract specific information we need about the scene. I still work in that field today at my job. We design cameras and we do all the processing ourselves, and we also work on computer vision applications. So here's kind of a little breakdown. So some of the computer's applications involve visual recognition programs, like at the airport. So at first glance, ICE's Masters, I guess that would be short for Isabel, Masters, these based on multi-slit spectroscopy and a study of the stellar continent of galaxies in clusters. So the first plate, of course, is distant galaxies. Then it goes through a multi-slit array, then go through diffraction gratings, and then multi-infrared spectra. May not seem at all related to the visual recognition programs used at airports, etc., but it was. So all this stuff here is coming from the same technology. I do occasionally receive a headline from elsewhere about something that could be from a fun fact. Another part of this week's fun fact we owe to Kurt. He sent me the headline from a Sky and Telescope. Does Earth have a new quasi-moon? Of course, I was hooked, and the intrigue began. What on Earth, or more accurately, what in space is a quasi-moon? Actually, throughout history, quite a few astronomers and one rather famous astrologer have found, suspected, or seen mini-moons orbiting the Earth. The first major claim of another moon of Earth was made by French astronomer Frédéric Petit, director of the Toulouse Observatory, who in 1846 announced that he had discovered a second moon in an elliptical orbit around Earth. It was claimed to have also been reported by Le Bon and Dacier at Toulouse, and by Larrivée at Artenac Observatory during the early evening of March 21st, 1846. Although these claims were refuted by peers, in 1898, Hamburg scientist Dr. George Waltnath announced that he had located a system of tiny moons orbiting Earth. He began his search for secondary moons based on the hypotheses that something was gravitationally affecting the moon's orbit. In 1918, astrologer Walter Gornold, also known as Cephariel, claimed to have confirmed that the existence of a Waltnath's moon. He named it Lilith. Cephariel claimed that Lilith was a dark moon invisible for most of the time, but he claimed to be the first person in history to view it as it crossed the sun. Now, there we go. Fraser would probably agree that Lilith was indeed a dark moon. I love that.
Oh, man.
Oh, my. There are many more surveys, claims, and sightings stating mini-moons, the name before quasi-moons exist, In fact, Clyde Tombaugh, the discoverer of Pluto, was commissioned to search for NEO, near-Earth objects. There is quite a lot of back and forth as to whether they found, but finally, an official response was put forth in 1955 October issue of Popular Mechanics. And quote, Professor Tombaugh is closed-mouthed about his results. He won't say whether or not any small natural satellites have been discovered. He does say, however, the newspaper reports of 18 months ago announcing the discovery of natural satellites at 400 and 600 miles out are not correct. He adds that there is no connection between the search program and the reports of the so-called flying saucers. That statement neither refutes nor supports the new Earth objects. First, fast forward to 2016 and a Scientific American headline, and I can't show you the headline, but the headline says, "New found asteroid is quasi-moon of Earth. Space rock is caught in a little dance with our planet and will bob around us for years to come." So this here image is the newfound asteroid 2016 HO3, has an orbit around the sun that keeps it as a constant companion of Earth. And this image was from NASA and JPL and Caltech. It seems the moon is not Earth's only cosmic companion. I'll give you a little bit better view. So there's Earth, and there's that the thing you're talking about, and there's its orbit, and of course there's the sun way out there. The newly discovered asteroid 2016 HO3 Camo-Olawia, I think I said that right, orbits the sun in such a way that the space rock never strays too far from Earth, making it a quasi-satellite to our planet. So there it is there. One other asteroid, 2003 YN-107, followed a similar orbital pattern for a while over 10 years ago, but it has since departed our vicinity. Paul Chodas, manager of NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena. So back to the original headline from Kurt on April the 7th, that has led to so many rabbit holes. And recently discovered asteroid 2023 FW13. This is a still shot from a really fun video with a rather intense soundtrack by NASA. And if I go to the video, I'll try it. I can't guarantee this is going to work, but I will try it.
Let's make connectivity possible for all by making technology accessible.
Okay, let's get out of that because it's just going to go to ads for a bit on my computer. So he has credited a bit of a stir among asteroid watchers. It turns out to be on an orbit that is not only one-to-one resonance with the Earth, but follows a path that actually circles Earth, albeit on an orbit that is so eccentric that it sweeps out halfway to Mars and halfway to Venus. So there's no formal definition for objects such as this, which are sometimes called quasi-moons or quasi-satellites. They follow a path around Earth, but usually for no more than a few decades. Perhaps the best known of these objects, known as Camo-Olawia, was found in 2016 and is considered the smallest, closest, and most stable known quasi-satellite. It has an orbit that has been in stable resonance with the Earth for almost a century and will remain so for centuries to come, according to the calculations by Paul Chodas, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So, hello, quasi-moons. It's a little unsettling, like discovering your longtime neighbor is actually, oh, come on, I just want to show you the quasi-moon.
That's good.
Oh my gosh, that is so interesting. And that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Hey,
There
That's
you go.
awesome.
Now that was unbelievable. She made up for not being here last week with all that amazing information. Unbelievable stuff.
Isn't it?
when she finds it, she does, and so I'm glad for it.
Yeah.
Our show can be pretty boring without it.
Oh man, that is just amazing. So anyway, thank you very much, Rosanna. That one was awesome.
Awesome.
Fact versus fiction. We are the fiction and she has the facts.
That's right. It makes them fun.
Yes. Okay, let's go quickly to some photos. Let me get my photos up here. Category. And I'll bring this up. See what screen I could share it on first of all. Over here. Okay. Over here. Okay, now I think I can share this one.
There
No?
you go.
Okay. All right. Hang
That's
on.
me. Pardon me.
You seeing a menu on that screen too?
No.
Just the picture?
Just
Yes.
a picture. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, then let's go from there to this one's from Carol Bean. Carol says the moon and Venus with the Pleiades bottom right, just above the tree line. Right in here.
Yeah, right in there. Yeah.
So nice job, Carol. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That was just the other night. Worse, I think it was last night. Yeah. Then we're going to go from here to Matthew Dupre's capture of M13.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
Beautiful. Nice work.
There's my submission for the week. He said M13. This is about 45 minutes of total exposure, taken with the Celestron 9 1/4 and a Canon T7i. Well
There
done.
you go.
Yeah. Very nice.
Well done.
I love that cluster.
Hmm.
Oh, hold it. Can you zoom in just a little tiny bit? Can you see the propeller?
I
I
know.
wish I had, if I could
see it.
control your mouse, I could show it to you. I can see it. Yeah, it's right there. Take your mouse down just a tiny bit. Now go to the right, go to the right, go to the right, go to the right, down, no, down now. A little bit, stop, go to the left. Go right there. We go down just a tiny little bit to that little blank spot. That's the center. If you look up to around 1 o'clock, you'll see a vein going up. Look down around 5 o'clock, there's one going down, and look around 9 o'clock, one going sideways. That's the propeller.
Okay.
When you image M13 and you get it right and you don't overexpose it, you can see that propeller each time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I bet you can't look at that without seeing a propeller, right?
Yep, there you go. So
Like
great job.
I can't look at the double cluster without seeing the cowboy.
Anyway, fantastic to be able to get that. That's beautiful.
Nicely done, Matthew. Thanks for that. I'm gonna go from there to his capture of the Leo triplet.
Oh, nicely
Oh,
done.
yes, beautiful.
Done. Well done.
Very well done.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go from there to David Hoskins' capture of Mercury. That's a tough one to get.
It is.
Wow,
Yeah.
It's not very high on the horizon for very long for sure. So
that's fantastic.
well
Awesome.
done. And get his capture here of M81, M82. He should capture with that dwarf too. That's that little tiny telescope or camera, I guess. 18 by 8 second stack from the SD card, cropped and noise reduction tweaking in Photoshop. Not too bad for Bortle 7 zone. He should be much better at a darker site. Well done though.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Okay, we're gonna go from there to Robert Gadet's capture of the sun. Look at his captures of the sun.
Very
Yeah, I
nice.
did a magnificent job there today.
Great detail. Sun on April 17, 2023, 1:30 p.m. Hydrogen alpha lint 40 millimeter telescope, single capture of 500 frames, 20% stacked. Seeing conditions below average, fighting clouds the whole time. Learned a few things for focusing and tuning the scope using sharp cap. So awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, he's getting some phenomenal shots.
Yeah, amazing. Great stuff, Robert. Keep it up. And then this one as well from Robert.
Look at that prominence at the top. That's incredible.
Really. Yeah. Well done. Okay, I'm gonna go from there to Jason Dane's shot.
Oh, yeah. That's
Always
nice.
nice.
51, a Whirlpool galaxy known as M51, interacting grand design spiral galaxy. It lies in the constellation Canis Venatici and was the first galaxy to be classified as a spiral galaxy. It's about 31 million light years away and 76,900 light years in diameter. NGC 5195, also known as MEVCA 51b, is a dwarf galaxy that is interacting with the Whirlpool galaxy. That's it. Behind
That's so
it.
cool.
Yeah, I did an amazing job on that. How many hours you put in that?
He didn't say in the,
Yeah, I think he's got like 24 if my memory's any good.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it
Beautiful.
was amazing work.
Yeah, very, very nice.
And lots of other galaxies too in the shot and around. Well done. All right, I'm gonna go from there to Kathy Adams' shot of the sun. I'm gonna
Yes,
go
sir.
first.
Yes, sir.
That's a great job.
Good.
Lots of stuff to look at there, isn't there?
Oh, it's never gets old.
Mhm.
You don't know what's coming around the corner.
No, you don't. And then we got Mr. Powell's captured
Yes,
Well,
sir.
that was this morning.
this morning.
Yeah,
Still some nice sunspots there.
a little bit of haze in the sky, but still, it's
Oh, yeah.
There,
that's a Soho shot.
Yeah, I like that, putting the Earth and
Oh, the
Jupiter in.
comparison, yeah, Earth
Yeah.
and Jupiter.
Well, that's why I throw the Soho shot in with it to give the comparison of what my shot looks like compared to Soho.
That's right.
Well,
'Cause I
you
go
know,
there to
too,
orient the sun.
so this is your shot though, is it?
No, that's Soho shot.
Oh, the Soho
Okay.
shot. The shot is this one.
But
That's my shot.
okay, so if you look at the Soho shot and then you look at your sunspots, you can
Yeah.
really see that. That's a nice comparison. You should throw that Earth size thing on your images. That'd be cool.
Well, I always throw the Soho one up there, so it's there anyway.
Yeah, true enough.
Great stuff.
And that's the shot I look at to orient the sunspots. When I take the picture, the sunspots are up and down, not
Oh,
side.
right.
Right.
So I got to rotate the whole picture.
Awesome. Beautiful sun.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah, well, I mean, everything's not about stars, right? So
There you go.
I like these guys because they remind me of the pterodactyls. Right? Like they're just
They do, don't they? They're so prehistoric looking, aren't they?
a leftover.
Oh, that's just proof pterodactyl was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. See the
Beautiful
little
shot.
these little fish
Yeah.
right there. That's what he was doing. He was fishing, eh?
Yes, sir.
So when somebody commented that they saw that and they thought that was a fishing line in his mouth, they said, no, that's just the water. If you zoom down to the water, you can see where he just came out of the water.
Oh yeah.
A little further down.
Oh, go for it.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. He
Yeah.
just got finished pulling that fish out. And yeah, but they just like that time of night, which was right around the time that the show starts. That's when they're eating like that, and he just, man, they're just machines.
Nice for that fish to sacrifice his life just for you to get the shot, I guess, eh?
There you go. Yeah. Here, pose in his mouth.
So that's Don Heron.
Go ahead.
Down there you go.
Oh, then we got this one.
Oh my God.
Our entertainer during our breaks in between the show. So
Where's the guy with the banjo sitting up on the deck?
Yeah, we're about to get into a boat, go downstream.
That's a nice shot, Paul. Actually, it's a nice shot.
Thank you.
if you have photos to send in, we'd love to get them here at astronomybythebay@gmail.com. Please send them in. We love getting them. So that's that.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Ta-da.
And I think we're going to get to our closing notes now. I say that's that time, right? So yeah, maybe you got an hour. Oh yeah, just 1 second. I'm going to try to share. I'll share the latest update with what they're saying. Oops, what they're saying on NOAA. First of all, I'll bring up my app. This app I use, Aurora Alerts. It's called. There's the KP level right now. KP8 staying. So that's a KP8 out of a possible 9. Whether that's accurate right on the button or not, but there are 2 scales there. The one on the farthest right is a BT scale. That's how the solar wind is interacting with our magnetosphere right now. And the farther right that dial is, the better it is. So it's way over hard on 10. The one that's the second one in, the BZ number, that's how it's interacting directly with our magnetic field. And you can't really see that one very well. So that's kind of in the mid-range. So they're saying that if I was in St. John, I would see 1% overcast or 1% overhead and 6% at the horizon right now. That's their numbers. That's off of apps. Of course, apps are all getting their information from the main page, which is this one here. Bring that up right here, which is the NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center. That's where I go to get my information. So right now they're showing the level of being G4, which is severe. So the 24-hour observed maximum so far has been G4. That's out of a possible 5. The latest observed is G4, and then it's going to drop down to a G3, which is still strong a little bit later on. So whether that means that like it comes in waves, and it's like weather forecast. It's really hard to predict. We could have it really good for a few hours, and it could drop off real fast. So all depends on how those charged particles are rushing towards us, and whether it's one wave or multiple waves that catch up to each other. So we'll see what happens. If you have the opportunity, you have some clear sky, you might want to go out and just check it out if it's close by for you. Okay, so anyway, in closing in tonight, thanks again for all of your support. Of course, special thanks again, of course, to Rosanna for her continued contributions to the show. Rosanna, thank you very much. Always appreciate your input. Also, special thanks goes out to Trudy and all of those who share our program for us. If you would like more information about the Wonders of the Night Sky, you can find me at astronomybythebay.ca. Remember, too, we do love getting your photos, so send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to include them on our next broadcast. And please let your friends and family know that we will be back here next Sunday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook to entertain you on astronomy and the wonders of the night sky. Coming up soon, we are going to take a break. We were talking about it earlier tonight. We're going to let you know a little bit more about that information later on. We'd like to know your input on it, as far as whether or not we'll be going to either a bi-weekly show, maybe a monthly show, or taking a summer off. We're not quite sure yet, but we're all going to take a little bit of a well-deserved break, I think, so at the moment. So anyway, that's a little bit later on, but not for now. For now, then, for Mike and Paul and I, we'll see you next Sunday night. So we wish you a safe week, lots of clear skies. As we'd like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up. Thanks, everyone.